Welcome back, friends. My name is Carol and this is my channel, Houseplant Passion, where we share tips and tricks regarding plant care and how to keep your plants thriving, not just surviving. So today is a video that's going to cover house plants that are pet friendly. This is very close to my heart because I have a little nephew and also a little fur baby, my Australian Shepherd Uko, who, I'm glad, even though my dog doesn't eat things like this, I know if he were to take a quick little nibble, he would be just fine. So the first plant I'm going to cover is a plant that doesn't get enough love, in my opinion. I just think they're so stunning. This is called a nerve plant, and they come in many different colors, and the most well-known are the white vein variety and the red vein variety. This girl, she just has like oranges and reds and whites in her. I'm not sure the exact type she is, but she's so cute. And if you don't have a lot of room in your home, this is a plant that's not going to get ginormous, okay? It's going to stay maybe 8 inches by 8 inches, and that's it. It's a great statement piece for maybe a cocktail table, coffee table, end table, that sort of thing. Very easy to get along with plant. It doesn't need a lot of requirements, just a little bit of feeding every now and then. You can give it, I found, just about any kind of water you want. It's not picky as far as chemicals or lots of minerals in its water. It doesn't have a huge watering requirement. It's kind of forgiving if you give it too much water or too little water. It's just a plant that's really easy to get along with. It's not real picky about its humidity. So I found that it does fine anywhere between 45 and 60% humidity if you're in the United States. And I'm not even going to try to do the conversion because my math is not the best. Other than that, it also is not picky about its light requirements either. It does just fine and will also grow for you in dimmer conditions, but it does really, really thrive in bright and direct light. It has a thicker leaf, so it's a little bit more forgiving if you move it too quickly into a different type of lighting requirement for it. It's just an easy plant to get along with, and I think they're beautiful with all the different colors in the leaves. The next plant I'm going to go over in pet-friendly plants is the spider plant. Now, this has been known for the ages as a plant that's beginner-friendly. And I'm going to tell you, I have not had the same experience with this plant. I found this plant to be a little bit picky regarding its water, meaning if you give it too much, it's going to make you pay. If you give it too little, it's going to make you pay. Either way, you're not going to know what you're doing unless you have a moisture meter like the one I use. I have a moisture meter because I cannot be trusted to not love my plants to death with water. That is how I used to kill every plant I owned. So this has been a lifesaver for me because I loved to water my plants to death. I just didn't know that's what I was doing. So this girl, she crisps her ends of her leaves up if she's overwatered, underwatered, or if the humidity is too low for her. It's pretty hard for the humidity to be too low for the spider plant. That really hasn't been something I've experienced, but she has kept me guessing quite a few times on whether I've overwatered or underwatered her as to why she was giving me the crispiness on her tips. So you may notice she doesn't have any pups that these spider plants are known for, and that would be my fault because I got super aggressive and optimistic and put her in a planter when I replanted her that was way too big for her. So she spent all fall and winter filling this pot with roots. That was her major job that she felt that she had to do. And now she's finally got to that point, and I don't know if you can see, where is it? I just noticed it when I checked her to water her this morning. She is getting ready to give me a pup. So resilient, yes. I mean, this plant has been used as a football by my husband by accident. He kicked her off of the patio into the parking lot and she bounced back. But I'm just saying, I don't agree with this being a new plant, parent-friendly plant, because if you struggle with water, she's going to torture you. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to my absolute favorite type of plant. If you've seen my other videos, you know I have an absolute obsession for prayer plants. Prayer plants raise and lower their leaves throughout the day. That's where they get the name prayer plant, because it looks like they're raising their leaves up in prayer. This is, they believe, to optimize the amount of light that they are getting throughout the day to help them make the food they need to thrive. I have quite a few options for you to look at. They are all pet friendly and human friendly. The first one is Calathea. I have 3 of those today. Like I said, I have an obsession. Don't judge me. This one is called a Maui Queen, and she, out of all the Calatheas, her markings are more on the timid side, but they're still, I mean, they're absolutely stunning. I am going to tell you ahead of time that Marantas, Calatheas, Stramanthes, all those plants that are in the prayer plant family, I know I'm missing some, they are pretty unforgiving about water. And they do not like chemicals. They do not like a lot of sodium and minerals in their water. It will give you a dead plant at some point if you keep giving that type of water to them. You'll start seeing it in their leaves. They'll start getting crispiness. Oh, this girl, she doesn't have anything on her that I can show you. Oh, dang it. We'll come up to one that has some kind of crisping on it at some point. They're kind of picky with their watering too. They don't like to dry out in between waterings. They do not like to be too soggy either. So it's a delicate balance. I have to use a moisture meter, as I said, because I'm a reformed serial plant killer, and my weapon of choice was water. So I wait until the moisture meter digitally says about 42, which is still in the moist range, but is just about to drop into dry. And then I give them a good drink. And I make sure all of my plants are in a nursery pot, like this girl, and has some sort of drainage. So when I give them a nice thorough drink, I can give it a half an hour or so, and the excess water will drain out, and then I can just discard it and put the plant back in the cover pot. She's given me lots of new growth, so that lets you know that a Calathea is happy when they're doing that. Another example of a Calathea, the Calathea's strict name is the rattlesnake Calathea, and I just think she's gorgeous. This is what normally draws people to these plants that are sold almost anywhere, and they bring them home. They don't know anything about the care requirements for Calatheas or Marantas. They just see how stunning they are. They bring them home. They overwater them, don't give them the right humidity. They like anywhere between 50 to 60% humidity, and they can tolerate lower light, but they do prefer bright indirect light, because all the Calatheas, the Marantas, those Stramanthes, they're a plant that would grow on the under canopy, the ground of the rainforests where they come from. And they're used to getting, dappled sun where they don't get direct light onto the leaves. So if someone were to bring this home and be like, oh my God, this is just absolutely gorgeous, let me put it in a west-facing window or an east-facing window right on the window ledge, they would scorch the leaves and the plant would die. So it's important, even though they're stunning and they're gorgeous, and she's giving me another leaf too. It's important to research the care requirements for these plants, because they are a bit diva-like, although I don't think they're as hard as people make them out to be. The next one is also a calathea. This is called a peacock plant, and look at how stunning she is. So this plant in general and any of the calathea family will let you know if they're not getting enough light. I bought this one through the mail through Amazon, and when I got her, I opened the box and it was not what I expected to get. I mean, I could tell it was the right plant, but I don't know if you can see these leaves. Hardly any difference in the markings on the leaves at all, right? This one has been on there with this damage since I got it in the mail. This tells me this plant wasn't getting enough light with where it was grown. So I gave her a grow light and a nice upgrade because she was a little bit root bound, and now she's blessing me with all these big, look at these big, beautiful new leaves that she's giving me. She's probably going to get replanted in a couple months because she's pretty root bound, which they do like to be root bound, don't forget, but they don't like to be overly root bound. So this proves what I've said before, that they will tolerate and they will even grow in lower light conditions, but will they be the best that they can be? No, they're not going to be, because they like bright and direct light. That's what they prefer. The next plant is also in the prayer plant family that's pet friendly, and this is the Triostar Stramanthe. Absolutely stunning plant. And I'm going to tell you right now, this plant is not for anybody that's a beginner. It's not for someone that doesn't have time to try and have the patience to figure out what the plant wants. If I top watered her, she would throw a fit. Her leaves would look awful. I have to bottom water her. I couldn't forget her and then be like, ooh, I have to water my Triostar Stramanthe and then water her at night. No, she would punish me. She would drop leaves. I can't water her with just any kind of water. If I do, she will crisp up her leaves and they will die. She likes higher humidity than the rest of my prayer plants. If she drops below 60%, she crisps up her leaf tips just like that in protest. But I mean, she can get away with it. I mean, look at she's stunning. Look at the white and the green on the tops of the leaves and this like purplish pink underneath. She's absolutely stunning. When I did get her, she had a little bit of breast issues. I treated her with neem oil. She didn't like that either, but she's starting to recover from that. Some of the leaves, I left them on here where they only had a speck or two of drying on the leaves from that little battle. But now she's coming around the corner. She's giving me lots of new growth and replacing the leaves that I had to clip off of her. This girl does not like to dry out, but I'm telling you, not for a beginner, if you water her even a day early, I have found she'll punish me. She will just, yeah, it's not pretty, but she is gorgeous and she is pet friendly. She could be nibbled on and wouldn't hurt my Ugo, so, and I just can't help it. I mean, look at that stunning girl. I just had to have one. The next one is in the string series of plants. We're going to be doing a video of that shortly. This is my string of pearls. Again, oh, speaking of Ugo, one of his hairs got on her. This plant is gorgeous. It loves bright and direct light. It will not do as well in low light settings. It does not like to be overwatered. It's succulent-like in nature, so it stores excess water in its little pearls. They're so stunning. It's meant to be a hanging plant, but this is a baby, more of a juvenile plant, so I just have it in a nice planter's pot. I use gravel in a terracotta, so when I do water them, They don't need watered often. And it's all relative to how much light they're getting. This one is getting its own grow light. So it's getting higher light than some of my other plants. And it's loving it. It's giving me lots of new growth, little babies down here. It was throwing out a whole bunch of flowers that I just think they're so adorable. They look like little miniature dandelions when they're white and they open. They're adorable. She stopped flowering for now. I guess she's all flowered out. But this one you do not want to overwater. You want to have it in a really good, well-draining soil, or it will get root rot and it'll die. But it is pet friendly, which is lovely, and human friendly. If a child would be like, ooh, a pea, and try to eat one. The next one I have, my husband got me for Valentine's Day, and still has the evidence right there. This is a lipstick plant. This is the variegated version. Also, all lipstick plants are pet friendly, so if my little Uko decided to nibble on one of these leaves or the whole plant, he'd be fine. I'm sure you would probably get an upset stomach, but you know, no harm, no foul. This plant loves bright light. However, I gave it too much bright light, and you can see where it was trying to run from its grow light. It actually took a U-turn almost, and it started giving me these purple markings to the leaves, and I wasn't noticing it. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, right? Even someone that is 100 plants and going as far as success stories. I wasn't picking up what she was telling me, and now since I've moved her grow light, she's starting to come more upright, and the rest of the growth that's coming out is coming out without that color. But for the most part, these plants love the brighter light conditions. They do not like the light to hit their leaves directly. You have to be really careful with the amount of foot candles you give them. If that's something you struggle with, there's meters that you can buy on Amazon to measure the amount of light that you're getting in your home in the place where you have your little green babies. So this one likes to have a more arid soil and does not like to dry out between waterings. Loves higher humidity, 50 to 60%. It's going to be super happy. And yeah, it thrives in my home. I keep my home temperature-wise. All my plants do fine. I would say I keep it between 65 and 75, and they just love that temperature. So, yeah. The last one I'm going to show you is my... I told you, don't judge me. I'm obsessed with prayer plants. This is my lemon lime Maranta. Okay, I got her middle of last summer, and she maybe had 5 or 6 leaves on her, and she is just exploded for me. Now, some of the older leaves that she came with, this one, and this one, have the little crispers on there that I told you about, because when she was shipped to me where she came from, the humidity must have not been steady for her or must have dropped, and yeah, she's letting you know it. This is another plant that likes a well-draining soil and likes to it doesn't like to completely dry out between waterings. It does not like chemicals or anything like that, or lots of minerals in the water. So any of those plants that don't like that, I always give them distilled water. You can also give them rainwater, which I've said before is mother's milk to green leafy friends like this, because that's what they would get in the wild. They're going to thrive on it. When I fertilize any of these plants, I do it at quarter strength, and it's all relative to the lighting they have and what time of year. the amount of fertilizer I give to them. But yeah, this one, she's gorgeous. This can be a hanging plant, or it can be a plant that just you keep cutting back and have it as a nice statement piece on like a bookshelf or a desk, something like that. So that is it for our plant journey today with plants that are pet friendly and human friendly as well. Anything that I've mentioned in any of my videos, including today, I will put links into the end of the video to enable you to look for yourself to see if that's something you're interested in to help with your plant journey. And as always, if you found this video helpful, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Until we meet again, make sure to give your plants lots of green love.